The vast darkness of space stretched out before the human observation deck, a silent testament to the desperate situation humanity now faced. Commander Jaipark stood motionless, his reflection ghosting against the reinforced transparent steel window. The alien Confederation's blockade had been more than just a military strategy. It was a calculated attempt to crush human civilization. For months, the interdimensional barriers had been impenetrable. Every human colony, every space station, every orbital outpost found itself trapped like insects in amber. Supply lines had been cut, communication networks scrambled, and hope was quickly becoming a distant memory. On Earth, the situation was growing critical. Orbital agricultural platforms that once produced food for billions now ran at minimum capacity. Fusion reactors that powered entire continents were being rationed. The alien strategy was brutally simple: starve humanity into submission. Captain Yum Kim's reports were becoming more desperate with each passing week. Her scout ships, once the pride of human exploration, were now reduced to ghost vessels, slipping through the minimal gaps in the blockade, gathering intelligence and reporting back with increasingly grim news. The Confederation, a massive alliance of technologically advanced species, had never considered humans as anything more than a potential threat. They had watched humanity's rapid technological development with growing concern. The sudden blockade was their solution to what they saw as an unpredictable species. In a hidden research facility beneath the lunar surface, a different story was unfolding. Dr. Sung Min and her team of engineers worked with a determination that defied the overwhelming odds. They understood something the alien Confederation had completely miscalculated. Human beings did not break easily. Each computer terminal hummed with complex calculations. Holographic displays flickered with quantum mechanics equations that would make most species scientists go cross-eyed. But not these humans. They had been preparing for this moment, perhaps even before the blockade began. The facility was a marvel of underground engineering. Buried 3 kilometers beneath the lunar surface, it was protected from orbital scans, electromagnetic disruptions, and any potential physical attacks. Hundreds of the brightest minds worked in shifts, their collective intelligence focused on a single objective: finding a way to break the blockade. Commander Park knew their survival depended on more than just military might. It required innovation, creativity, and a willingness to challenge every conventional understanding of physics and space travel. Intelligence reports suggested the Confederation believed they had humanity cornered. Their massive interdimensional barrier generators were considered impenetrable. Massive energy fields that could detect and neutralize any approaching vessel, no matter how small or stealthy. But humans had always been masters of adaptation. Throughout their history, they had faced seemingly insurmountable challenges. From surviving ice ages to exploring the most hostile environments on their home planet, humans possessed an incredible capacity to overcome. In orbital command centers and underground research facilities, a quiet revolution was brewing. Military strategists, scientific researchers, and political leaders were formulating a response that would shock the entire galaxy. The alien Confederation had made one critical mistake. They viewed humanity as just another species to be controlled, another civilization to be managed. They did not understand the fundamental nature of human determination. Commander Park's eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic maps showing the blockade's configuration. Each red barrier represented billions of dollars of alien technology designed to create an impenetrable wall around human-controlled space. But walls, no matter how advanced, could always be circumvented. In the research facility, Dr. Sung Min made another breakthrough. Her team had been studying quantum entanglement and exploring methods of communication and transportation that went beyond traditional understanding. They were developing something that could potentially render the entire alien blockade obsolete. The stakes were simple: adapt or die. Across human colonies, people prepared. Manufacturing facilities were converted to produce specialized equipment. Every resource was being channeled into a singular purpose: breaking free from the alien stranglehold. Captain Yum Kim's latest reconnaissance mission had provided crucial data. Tiny vulnerabilities existed in the blockade, microscopic gaps that most species would never notice. But humans were different. They saw opportunities where others saw only barriers. As the Lunar Research Facility continued its work and orbital command centers buzzed with strategic planning, a sense of anticipation grew. The alien confederation believed they had humanity trapped. They were about to learn a very important lesson. Humanity was not a species that could be easily contained. The first phase of their response was about to begin. And when it did, the galaxy would never be the same again. The underground research facility beneath the lunar surface was more than just a scientific complex. It was humanity's last hope, a sanctuary of innovation, where the brightest minds worked with a sense of urgency that bordered on desperation. Dr. Sung Min moved between workstations, her keen eyes scanning rows of holographic displays and advanced computing systems. Around her, a team of 127 researchers from diverse backgrounds worked in perfect synchronization. Engineers, physicists, mathematicians, and computer specialists, all united by a single mission. Hyunwoo, her primary research assistant, was debugging a complex quantum communication algorithm. His fingers danced across holographic keyboards, lines of code shifting and reformatting with each precise touch. The room buzzed with an electric tension, a collective determination that filled every corner of the facility. Weeks of continuous research had produced something extraordinary. They were developing a quantum disruption technology that could potentially bypass the alien confederation's most advanced detection systems. Traditional understanding of physics meant nothing here. They were rewriting the rules of space travel and communication. The facility itself was a marvel of human engineering. Constructed over 3 decades in complete secrecy, it could sustain its team for years without external support. Advanced recycling systems, hydroponic gardens, and fusion power generators ensured complete self-sufficiency. No alien scanning technology could penetrate its multilayered shielding. Communication with other human resistance groups happened through an ingenious network of quantum-entangled communication devices. These small transmitters could send encrypted messages across vast distances without leaving any traceable signal. The alien confederation's monitoring systems would detect nothing. Outside the facility, human colonies were struggling. Food supplies were critically low. Energy resources were being carefully rationed. But inside this underground complex, hope was being engineered with mathematical precision. Dr. Park, a veteran systems engineer, was developing a breakthrough in quantum propulsion. His team had discovered a method to create microscopic wormhole passages that could allow spacecraft to bypass traditional space-time constraints. It was theoretical physics pushed to its absolute limit. The resistance wasn't just technological. Underground networks on Earth and various human colonies were organizing. Communication channels were established through encrypted quantum networks. Military personnel, scientists, and civilian volunteers were all playing crucial roles. Young technicians worked alongside seasoned researchers. Some were recent graduates, their minds untainted by traditional limitations. Others were veterans who had spent decades pushing the boundaries of human understanding. Together, they represented humanity's most powerful weapon, collective intelligence. Hyunwoo discovered something remarkable during a routine system check, a potential vulnerability in the alien blockade's quantum signature. It was subtle, almost invisible to conventional scanning methods, but human ingenuity saw what others missed. Dr. Sung Min realized this could be the breakthrough they needed. If they could exploit this microscopic weakness, they might create a pathway through the seemingly impenetrable alien barrier. Simulations were run continuously. Quantum models were tested and retested. Each iteration brought them closer to a solution that could change everything. The alien confederation believed they had humanity trapped. They were about to discover how wrong they were. The resistance wasn't just about technology. It was about spirit, the human capacity to adapt, to challenge, to overcome. Every researcher in the facility understood they were fighting for more than survival. They were fighting for the future of their entire species. Communication with orbital command centers was carefully managed. Small data packets were transmitted using the quantum communication network, ensuring no traceable signals could be intercepted by alien monitoring systems. Commander Jai Park, monitoring the situation from the orbital command center, knew the underground team was humanity's most critical asset. Their work represented more than just a technological solution. It was a statement of human resilience. As hours turned into days and days into weeks, the researchers continued their work. They didn't see themselves as trapped. They saw themselves as the architects of humanity's escape. The quantum disruption drive was taking shape. Complex mathematical models were being transformed into practical engineering solutions. What seemed impossible was slowly becoming probable. In the quiet moments between intense work sessions, researchers would share brief conversations. They spoke of hope, of future possibilities. They understood the weight of their responsibility. Humanity had always been defined by its ability to push beyond known boundaries. This underground resistance was simply the latest chapter in that ongoing story of exploration and determination. The alien confederation would soon learn a crucial lesson. Humanity was not a species that could be easily contained or controlled. Something extraordinary was coming, and when it arrived, the galaxy would never be the same again. The prototype ship sat quietly in the underground hangar, looking deceptively simple. Its sleek design betrayed nothing of the complex technology hidden within its reinforced hull. Kang Yun, the selected pilot, ran her final system checks with methodical precision. Dr. Sung Min watched from the control room, her fingers hovering above the quantum communication interface. Months of research, countless simulations, and immeasurable human determination had led to this single moment. The quantum disruption drive was more than just an engineering marvel. It represented humanity's most advanced technological leap. Traditional understanding of space travel meant nothing compared to what they had created. This wasn't just a ship, it was a statement of human potential. Hyun Woo's voice crackled through the communication system. All systems are green. Quantum signature stabilization at 98.7%. His tone mixed scientific excitement with underlying tension. Kang Yun's breathing remained steady. Military training and years of pilot experience had prepared her for this moment. She understood the mission was more than a test flight. It was humanity's first real chance to break the alien confederation's stranglehold. The alien blockade generators were considered impossible to bypass. Massive energy fields that could detect and neutralize any approaching vessel, no matter how small or advanced. Most species would have surrendered. Humans were not most species. At exactly 300 hours lunar time, the prototype activated. Quantum entanglement systems began their complex dance, creating microscopic passage points through the interdimensional barriers. Where traditional physics suggested impossibility, human innovation found a pathway. The ship's exterior began to shimmer, its molecular structure becoming momentarily flexible. Advanced sensors showed something extraordinary happening. The vessel was simultaneously existing and not existing within standard spacetime parameters. Dr. Park, monitoring from the orbital command center, watched the quantum telemetry with held breath. Years of scientific development were being tested in real time. One miscalculation could mean complete failure. Kang Yun felt nothing unusual. The ship's internal systems maintained perfect stability. External sensors showed something remarkable. They were passing through the blockade without triggering any detection systems. Penetration successful, she reported calmly. No alien response detected. In the research facility, scientists erupted in controlled celebration. Months of work, endless calculations, and human determination had produced something the alien confederation considered impossible. The quantum disruption drive worked by creating momentary quantum tunnels. It wasn't about overpowering the blockade. It was about finding microscopic pathways that conventional scanning systems couldn't detect. Essentially, the ship wasn't breaking through the barrier. It was existing in multiple quantum states simultaneously. alien monitoring systems designed to detect massive energy signatures and traditional propulsion methods, completely missed the prototype's passage. It was like a ghost moving through solid walls. Kang Eun's mission was simple: gather intelligence and return. She would be the first human to successfully bypass the most advanced blockade in galactic history. Her small vessel carried advanced scanning equipment that could provide crucial data about the alien Confederation's defensive strategies. Hours passed. The prototype moved silently through restricted space, collecting information. Quantum communication systems transmitted encrypted data packets back to the lunar facility. Each transmission was a whisper, undetectable by alien monitoring technologies. When Kang Eun finally returned, the lunar facility erupted in controlled excitement. She had not only survived, but had gathered unprecedented intelligence about the alien Blockades configuration. Dr. Sung Min reviewed the initial data streams. What they showed was revolutionary. The alien Confederation's defensive systems, considered impenetrable, had fundamental weaknesses that only human innovative thinking could exploit. The prototype's successful mission meant more than a technological breakthrough. It represented a psychological victory. Humanity had shown that their innovative spirit could overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. In orbital command centers and underground facilities, a new sense of hope emerged. The first crack in the alien blockade had been created, and humans were preparing to turn that crack into a massive breach. Commander Jae Park understood the significance. This wasn't just about breaking a physical barrier. It was about demonstrating humanity's fundamental strength, the ability to adapt, to innovate, to survive. The alien Confederation would soon learn a crucial lesson. Humanity was not a species that could be easily contained or controlled. And this was just the beginning. The first phase of their resistance had succeeded. The unexpected breakthrough was complete. Now, the real challenge would begin. Fleet Admiral Ji-hoon Park studied the holographic tactical display, his weathered fingers tracing potential attack vectors. The quantum disruption technology had changed everything. What was once an impossible mission was now a calculated strategy of precision and surprise. The human counteroffensive would not be a massive, overwhelming assault. It would be surgical, strategic, designed to exploit the microscopic vulnerabilities they had discovered in the alien Confederation's blockade system. 6 specialized squadrons had been prepared in absolute secrecy, each vessel equipped with the breakthrough quantum disruption drive, capable of appearing and disappearing without traditional energy signatures. They were ghosts, impossible to track, difficult to predict. Captain Yoon Kim would lead the first strike team. Her reputation as a tactical genius preceded her. Where traditional military commanders saw obstacles, she saw opportunities. Her squadron comprised the most adaptable pilots humanity could assemble. The initial targets were critical communication relay stations positioned along the outer defensive perimeter. These weren't just military installations. They were the nervous system of the alien Confederation's blockade network. Each attack would be precisely timed. Multiple squadrons would strike simultaneously at different points, creating a complex tactical puzzle that would overwhelm alien defensive systems. No single attack would be predictable or follow traditional military engagement patterns. The quantum disruption technology allowed their ships to exist in multiple quantum states. They could pass through defensive energy fields like smoke through a wire mesh. Traditional tracking systems would register nothing. No energy signatures, no movement, no threat. Intelligence gathered from Kang Eun's prototype mission had revealed critical weaknesses. The alien Confederation had designed their blockade assuming a traditional understanding of space travel and combat. They had not anticipated human innovation. The first strike happened without warning. Captain Kim's squadron appeared simultaneously at 3 separate relay stations. Before alien defensive systems could comprehend what was happening, critical communication nodes were neutralized. No massive explosions, no traditional weapons discharge, just precise electromagnetic disruptions that would take weeks, perhaps months, to repair. It was psychological warfare at its most sophisticated level. Admiral Park watched the tactical displays. Each green marker represented a human strike team. Each blue marker represented a disabled alien communication relay. The pattern was deliberate, chaotic yet mathematically precise. The Alien Confederation's initial response was confusion. Their monitoring systems had been designed to detect massive energy signatures, traditional weapon discharges, and large-scale military movements. These attacks defied every known combat protocol. Within 72 hours, humans had disabled 17 critical communication relay stations. Not destroyed, disabled. The difference was crucial. Destruction would trigger immediate and overwhelming retaliation. Precise disruption created uncertainty, confusion, and strategic vulnerability. Technological teams back in the Lunar Research Facility monitored every transmission, every quantum signature. They were learning, adapting, preparing for the next phase of their strategic response. Dr. Sung Min and her team analyzed every piece of data returned by the strike teams. Each mission provided more insights into alien defensive technologies. What was once an impenetrable blockade was now revealing its fundamental weaknesses. The psychological impact was equally important. The Alien Confederation had believed humanity would surrender, would accept total containment. These strikes demonstrated something far different. A species unwilling to be controlled, ready to fight with unprecedented creativity. Orbital command centers buzzed with controlled excitement. This wasn't just a military operation. It was a statement about human potential, human resilience, human refusal to accept imposed limitations. Each strike team returned without a single human casualty. They moved like shadows, struck with precision, and disappeared before traditional defensive systems could even comprehend their presence. The Alien Confederation's communication networks began to show signs of stress. Defensive coordinators struggled to understand these attacks. Traditional military response protocols became increasingly ineffective. Admiral Park knew this was just the beginning. These strikes were not about total destruction. They were about creating strategic uncertainty, demonstrating human capabilities, and preparing for the next phase of their resistance. Humanity had transformed from a trapped civilization to an unpredictable, innovative force. The galaxy was about to learn a crucial lesson. Never underestimate a species fighting for its survival. The counter-offensive had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. The final operation began with absolute silence. No massive fleet movements, no traditional military displays, just precision and calculated strategy that would reshape galactic power dynamics forever. Fleet Admiral Jae-hoon Park had spent months planning this moment. Every quantum calculation, every strategic overlay, every potential scenario had been meticulously analyzed. The Lunar Research Facility had transformed their quantum disruption technology into something beyond theoretical science. 6 specialized squadrons, each containing 10 quantum-enabled vessels, positioned themselves at critical interdimensional junction points. These were the structural weak points of the Alien Confederation's blockade, microscopic vulnerabilities that most species would never detect. Captain Yoon Kim's voice remained calm over the encrypted communication channel. All units prepared. Quantum synchronization at maximum efficiency. The Alien Confederation had no idea what was coming. Their monitoring systems, designed to detect massive energy signatures and traditional combat movements, were about to become obsolete. Dr. Sung Min watched from the Lunar Command Center. Years of research, countless simulations, and human determination had led to this singular moment. The quantum disruption drive was no longer just a technological marvel. It was humanity's key to survival. At precisely 400 hours, the first phase began. Multiple quantum tunnels opened simultaneously across different sectors. Human vessels didn't just pass through the blockade. They existed in multiple quantum states, rendering traditional defensive systems completely ineffective. The Alien Confederation's initial response was confusion. Their most advanced monitoring technologies registered nothing. No energy signatures, no traditional weapon discharges, no standard spacetime movements. Hyun-woo monitored the quantum telemetry, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. "Penetration successful," he reported. "No defensive response detected." Each human vessel carried specialized electromagnetic pulse generators. These weren't weapons designed to destroy. They were precision tools engineered to disrupt critical alien defensive infrastructure. Communication relay stations went dark. Defensive grid generators experienced systematic failures. The blockade that had trapped humanity for months began to crumble from within, attacked at its most fundamental quantum structural points. Admiral Park understood this was more than a military operation. It was a demonstration of human potential, human innovation, human refusal to be controlled. The alien confederation's leadership watched in stun, to silence as their most advanced defensive system collapsed, not through massive destruction, but through precise, mathematically calculated disruptions that rendered their technologies useless. 12 critical blockade junction points were systematically neutralized within 6 hours. No massive explosions, no traditional combat. Just pure, calculated human innovation transforming the fundamental understanding of space travel and defensive technologies. Captain Kim's squadron moved like quantum ghosts, striking with surgical precision. Each movement was a testament to human adaptability, human resilience, human determination. As the final defensive grid collapsed, a message was transmitted across all alien communication frequencies. Simple, direct, powerful. Blockades cannot contain human potential. The Lunar Research Facility erupted in controlled celebration. Dr. Sung Min watched the quantum displays, understanding they had just changed galactic history forever. Orbital command centers buzzed with a mixture of excitement and strategic planning. This wasn't just about breaking a blockade. This was about establishing humanity as a serious galactic power. The Alien Confederation's leadership began emergency communications. Their most advanced defensive system had been systematically dismantled by a species they had considered insignificant. Admiral Park knew this was just the beginning. Breaking the blockade was one thing. Establishing new galactic diplomatic relationships would be the real challenge. Diplomatic channels would soon reopen, but this time, humanity would sit at the table as an equal. No longer a species to be contained or controlled, but a dynamic, innovative civilization ready to take its place among the stars. Kang Yun, the pilot who had first demonstrated the quantum disruption technology, looked out her vessel's viewport. The blockade that had trapped humanity was now nothing more than scattered energy fragments. The galaxy had just witnessed something extraordinary, a species transforming limitation into opportunity, a civilization refusing to be defined by imposed restrictions. Humanity had broken through, and nothing would ever be the same again.